Zach Zinter, Trevor Keegan, Chris Jenkins. John, we're just about set as here come the Wolverines.
This is one of those moments, Doug, one of those mornings you just can't stop smiling. If you've run out of that tunnel and you've worn the winged helmet, you know how special this moment is, the anticipation, the excitement, the energy. I mean, it's like your heart is going to burst out of your chest. For all of those that are in attendance today, there is nothing better. Lloyd Carr used to ask the question, where would you rather be? And I guarantee you, there is no place in this world anybody here would rather be.
Injury concerns for Michigan. We watched them all go through warm-ups, and they all look fine. J.J. McCarthy moving around. Last week against Maryland, I watched him go through a very long and specific, what appeared to be an ankle workout with a trainer well before the team took the field. Looked like he was testing it this week. No such test. JJ looks good in pregame warm-ups, throwing the ball to Roman Wilson, who was out there catching passes. He ran with the ones during the warm-ups. Also, Miles Hinton was out there warming up, but Darius Henderson looks like he will return at left tackle as he was running around with the ones. It might be the best era of the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. Going into this game, Michigan 11-0, Ohio State 11-0. Last year, Michigan 11-0, Ohio State 11-0, and including the 2021 season, the combined regular season record of these two teams leading into the last three Michigan-Ohio State games, 64-2. That's how dominant these two teams have been in the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's been a good run. And Doug, when you and I were growing up, it was the Big Two and the Little Eight in what used to be 10 teams in the Big Ten. Now it's obviously grown, but it all comes down to these two teams, to this matchup to decide. Used to be who decided the Big Ten champion. Now it's going to be who decides who goes to the Big Ten championship game. And let's face it, this is the de facto championship game.
And I'm sure you can hear the Buckeyes taking the field to a chorus of boos from 115,000 strong here at the Big House. John, the coin toss coming up shortly. While we have this opportunity, let's set what we expect to be the starting offense for Michigan. The left tackle, Ladarius Henderson. Left guard, Trevor Keegan. The center is Drake Nugent. The right guard is Zach Zinter. And the right tackle is Carson Barnhart. This group has only allowed 13 sacks this year. They need to be good today.
They need to be really good, and they've got to address some situations that were exposed in the last couple of games. That's going to happen throughout the course of the season, whether it's better sets from their offensive tackles or it's a tight end. The presence of another player, of another body there to help, but they've got to find a way to continue that string and that dominance that you've just mentioned. 13 sacks in a season, that's a darn good number.
Michigan has been starting two tight ends of late, Colston Loveland and A.J. Barner. The wideouts, Cornelius Johnson and Roman Wilson. And in the backfield, this senior, Blake Corum, who needs 112 yards today to get to 1,000 for the season. The defense up front for Michigan, Jalen Harrell, Chris Jenkins, Mason Graham, and Braden McGregor. The linebackers, Junior Colson and Mike Barrett. In the secondary, Will Johnson, Mikey Sandristel, Rod Moore, Makari Page, and Josh Wallace. The captains are making their way to the center of the field with the honorary captains today, Aiden Hutchinson and Chad Henne. And boy, are they fired up for this one.
Gentlemen, come in and greet each other.
You hear the voice of our lead official, Ron Snodgrass. Today's coin toss is brought to you by
Ohio State, as
Rude.
visitors, you'll call the toss. I'll get the call from you. You repeat his call. Today's coin, this will be the head. The Big Ten logo will be the tail. Ohio State, what's your call? He's called heads. We'll let it hit the ground. And it's a tail. That's Michigan's won the toss. Michigan has won the toss, deferred their choice to the second half. Ohio State will receive which way you want to kick the football.
Here at the Wolverines will
Ohio State
defer their decision to the second half. That was today's coin toss. Brought to you by Rude. You can rely on Rude. So we see the Michigan defense against Kyle McCord. The first time starting in this rivalry. He's gotten better as the season has gone on, John. Seeing the field more last four games against Wisconsin, Rutgers, Michigan State, and Minnesota. He's completed over 70% of his passes.
Yeah, he's been very accurate. He's been able to move around in the pocket. He's, at times, been able to get outside the pocket. He's not a what you might call a dual-threat quarterback. He's not a mobile guy, but he has enough mobility and enough presence to be able to get outside, and he has. And that's what you expect from a guy in his first year of starting. They're going to be better by the 12th game of the season than they were at game 1 or 2.
The third member of our team in the fray down on the field today is number 8, Jason Avant. Jason, set the scene for us.
It is electric down here. All of the alumni, the players are fired up. The fans have been out over an hour in the stadium ready to go. Big game, big lights, big-time players are going to make big-time plays for Michigan today. Boy, am I fired up to play some football today.
That surprises me. 0%. Number 8 is
man,
ready to go.
He nailed it on that one. There is no more excitement that you could possibly have than at this moment right now.
Weapons to watch out for the Ohio State offense. Travion Henderson, outstanding tailback, number 32. Keep your eye on him. Last 4 games, he has 499 yards rushing and 6.7 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns. He battled injuries early in the year. And on the marquee is number 18, Marvin Harrison, 13 touchdowns, second most in the country. He's got 62 catches for 1,093 yards. Tommy Doman has put the ball on the tee. He will kick off to Xavier Johnson deep for the Buckeyes. The 119th edition of the game. It's time to play some football. John Jansen, are you ready?
I can't wait. Let's go.
Doman's kick sails towards the northern end zone and will fall halfway back for a touchback, and the Buckeyes will take over on their own 25-yard line. Ohio State in their traditional white uniforms with the gray pants and their traditional silver helmets with the Buckeye leaves on the side. Michigan, of course, the traditional winged helmet, the maize numbers on blue jerseys, and it's a blue pants day for Michigan. Ohio State will go from left to right to get underway here in Ann Arbor.
I love the fact that the defense is out there. Hey, no inhibitions, fly around, make some plays, set the tone early.
McCord will be in a shotgun, pistol formation with Travion Henderson deep behind him. Takes the first snap of the ball game. Handoff to Henderson up the middle, and he gets about 5 out close to the 30. Mason Graham brought him down.
Going to have to be really good at that defensive tackle position, whether it's Mason Graham, Chris Jenkins, we'll see Kenneth Grant, all of those guys got to be able to hold up against the interior of that O-line.
Shotgun again for McCord. 2 receivers split to the right, 1 to the left. Travion Henderson in the backfield directly behind McCord. The tight end is Stover. He's a real threat in the middle of the field. Keep your eye on him today. Emeka Ibuka now will shift back into the Ohio State backfield to a wing position on the right. Here's a handoff. Henderson running right. He's drilled at the line of scrimmage and dropped right there by Chris Jenkins, the senior defensive tackle out of Olney, Maryland, with a big hit. It'll set up Ohio State 3rd down and 4, and they're going to go quickly. Empty backfield. McCord takes the snap. Back to pass. Fires over the middle. Ibuka dropped it on a slant pattern in front of Makari Page. Emeka Ibuka couldn't come up with it, and Ohio State goes 3 and out on their first possession of the ball game.
Had some alligator arms, knew that there was going to be a hit coming, and he short-armed that pass or short-armed the catch. And I tell you what, don't be surprised. Braden McGregor got a hit on Kyle McCord. Ohio State's going to go with that fast tempo in terms of getting set up. They don't want Michigan to sub in that rally group. Michigan able to get home at least once in those first 3 downs.
Jesse Mirko from Perth, Australia, back to punt for Ohio State. He averages 43 a kick. Jake Thaw standing on his own 24-yard line as Mirko rolls to the right, puts his foot into it. It's a short kick. Fair catch signal for by Thaw, and he makes it in traffic. Wow, dangerous there. But he comes up with it at the 35-yard line, just a 39-yard punt, and Michigan will have decent field position for their first possession of the ball game.
Yeah, and that's all about getting that 1 first down. In special teams, it's so important to be able to do that. Instead of getting the ball in the 25 like Ohio State did, they've got it on the 35. That's 1 first down this offense doesn't have to pick up.
The Wolverines go 3 wide, 4 wide here on their first possession. First snap of the ball game with JJ in a shotgun. 2 receivers split to either side. Blake Corum in the backfield off his right hip. Michigan's first snap of the game. JJ takes the snap, gonna throw, fires, and it's short. Looking for Cornelius Johnson. He bounced it to him at around the 40. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, JJ just a little too excited on that one. Got the ball, wanted to get rid of it. If he just holds onto it for a split second more, he's able to complete that ball. Just got to settle down, have a little patience.
2nd down and 10 for Michigan. Now they go 3 wide to the left. JJ in a shotgun. Corum continues in the backfield on 2nd and 10 from the 35. Just underway here in Ann Arbor. JJ takes the snap. Inside handoff. Corum up the middle, and he plows forward close to the 40 for a good gain. 5 yards for Blake there, setting up 3rd and manageable.
Well, I like to push up front, and they're in the exact same position that Ohio State was just in. 3rd and 5. They've got to find a way to convert this. And Ohio State is one of the best teams in the country at not allowing explosive plays. They want to force you to convert on 3rd down, which Michigan has been good at doing, but you've got to be able to sustain drives. This is their first opportunity at a 3rd down.
Donovan Edwards in the game for the first time, but Michigan goes empty backfield. 4 receivers split wide left. JJ now motions Donovan Edwards, who will take a pass from JJ. He's got some blockers, but can't spring it, and is knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Ohio State closed quickly as they went wide receiver screen to Donovan Edwards on 3rd down and 5, and he gets knocked out of bounds for no gain.
Well, don't be surprised to see that again. That's one where, hey, you go for it on this one. You try and get Donovan to get that first with blockers in front, but you got a one-on-one matchup on the other side. We see that formation again. Don't be surprised to see Michigan take a shot. That might be one where they're setting them up for later in the game.
Emeka Egbuka is deep to field this punt from Tommy Doman, who hits one straight up the elevator shaft. Signal for a fair catch is Egbuka, and he makes it at the 23-yard line. And that's where Ohio State will get the football for the 2nd time today. We are just underway here in Ann Arbor, and scoreless. 12:34 to go here in quarter number 1. This is Michigan football from Learfield. Michigan and Ohio State scoreless here. Each team has gone 3 and out. John, I expect a lower scoring game than the last 2. Ohio State and Michigan. 42-27 was the final in 2021. 45-23 was the final last year down in Columbus. I don't expect this to be quite as high scoring.
No, I don't either. Both the strength of both teams is their defense, and especially their defensive front. So it's going to be fun to watch this chess match between the two coordinators.
Ohio State from their own 24-yard line. McCord in a shotgun. Takes the snap, hand off to Travion Henderson. Not much running room as he gets out to the 25-yard line. Maybe give him a yard and a half there. Junior Colson, the Wolverines' leading tackler, brings down Travion Henderson.
Well, I talked about gap integrity early on in the pregame show, and that's exactly where it starts paying off. You got to be able to absorb those blocks, take on the double teams up front, and then Junior and Mike got to find where they need to fit in.
You got the matchup everybody's watching. Marvin Harrison Jr. against Will Johnson on the near side of the field here. 2 receivers split to the left for Ohio State. McCord in a shotgun on 2nd down and 9. Takes the snap, back to pass. Wolverines bring a blitz, gets the ball over the middle to his running back, Henderson, across the 35 out to the 38-yard line. Junior Colson brings down Henderson there, and Ohio State has their first down of the ball game to the 37-yard line, a gain of 12.
Well, one of the better receiving tight ends is Cade Stover. I know he's going to be a weapon that Ohio State wants to utilize. He was running a seam route. That's what cleared everything out inside. And it actually pulled Will Johnson off of Marvin Harrison a little bit just in terms of the rotation in the secondary. So they're going to keep testing this secondary, making sure that they're sound.
1st and 10, Ohio State at their own 37. McCord in a shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass. Looking, fires, and incomplete. Looking for Harrison, and he bounced it to him.
That's what Michigan is. I don't know that they're counting on it, but that's something that you can count on when you play against Ohio State. McCord is not as accurate as C.J. Stroud was the last couple of years. He's not as confident in the pocket. He is playing better, but if you can keep his eyes focused on the rush and not downfield, he's going to bounce some of those balls.
2nd and 10 for the Buckeyes. McCord in a shotgun. Ohio State looks to the sideline. Now they shift Travion Henderson into a pistol formation directly behind the quarterback. McCord takes the snap. Running right is Henderson. Nothing there. The Wolverines close quickly. Josiah Stewart, the man that fought off a block and brought down Henderson for no gain.
Nice job of extending his arms on the offensive tackle. And, I mean, he's an undersized dude. And he has taken on 320-pounders all season long. Ohio State's going to test him, and they lost that test on that one.
Great quote about Josiah Stewart earlier in the year from Mikey Sainristil, who said, yeah, he's small, but he'll take you for a ride. Did a great job there. 3rd and 10 for Ohio State. Empty backfield. McCord in a shotgun. Wolverines showing blitz. Back to pass. Quick pass. Wide receiver screen. 40, 45, and close to the first down. It depends on the spot. They're going to say he's short by about a yard. And Ohio State's going to be looking at a 4th down. Xavier Johnson, the receiver, in their own territory. Will Ryan Day roll the dice here?
Oh, I would imagine this early in the game, which it looks like he is going to punt it away. You don't want to give Michigan the ball and the momentum. I think it's probably more important. He just doesn't want to give Michigan that momentum. They've done a nice job of getting the ball out near midfield. This is an opportunity for them to flip the field and push Michigan back inside the 15, maybe inside the 10.
Watch the fake. Ohio State tried to set up a fake a year ago and messed it up. They tried a fake against Maryland a few weeks ago. Unsuccessfully, it's 4th and 1. Mirko is indeed going to punt it. Jake Thaw deep, signaling for a fair catch, and makes it. Wow, one of his own protectors ran into him at the 21-yard line, but he hung on to the football.
Nice job by Jake Thaw. That's 2 in a row now where he's been able to catch the ball in traffic, and if that ball hits the ground and bounces, the momentum's going to carry it inside the 20. If, God forbid, it hits one of the Wolverines, which we have seen this year, that's a nice play by Jake. Big play.
Yeah, big play indeed. Michigan will have it on their 21-yard line when we continue after a 33-yard punt. We are scoreless in Ann Arbor with 9:37 to go first quarter. You're listening to Michigan football from Learfield. 9:37 to go first quarter. We're scoreless in Ann Arbor. Ohio State has had the football twice. They punted twice. Michigan went 3 and out their first possession, and the Wolverines got it back on their own 21-yard line. For their second possession of the game, Doug Karst, John Jansen, Jason Avant here at the Big House for the 119th edition of The Game. Myers, the presenting sponsor of the 2023 Michigan football season, a proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. Well, John, Michigan, not much going. First, they had a nice run for Blake Corum on 2nd and 10. But 2 passing plays netted 0 yards, an incompletion and a completion for no gain.
Yeah, and it felt like JJ was just a little bit rushed on that last set of down, last series. That he didn't get his feet set. And we were talking to Jason at the break, that wide receiver screen, which ended up being a running back screen because it was Donovan Edwards, it just was behind him and took him out away from where his blockers were. Jay just needs to settle down, get into his game. I'd like to see him get outside the pocket, move him around a little bit, and get some throws.
3 wide here for Michigan from the 21. They hand it off to Blake Corum running right. Not much room. JT Tuimoloau in there for Ohio State, along with Steele Chambers. And maybe give a half a yard there to Blake on first down.
Yeah, minimal gain, but you're going to find that they're going to be pulling Drake Nugent on this one. And they haven't pulled him a lot from that center position. It's tough for him to be able to get outside there, get his shoulders square. He was the one that was taking on JT. That's a lot to expect from your center in tight spaces.
Here's something we haven't seen, I don't think, all year. Kalel Mullings and Donovan Edwards in the same backfield.
The double barrel.
JJ in his shotgun. Handoff running right is Donovan Edwards, who's got a little seam across the 25 out to the 27-yard line. That play looked familiar. Running right.
I was just going to say the same thing. Right off of Zach Zinner's butt, and that's where you want to be. Between Zach Zinner and Trevor Keegan, you got 2 guys that are all-American caliber type linemen, and 75 and 85 yards, which Michigan fans can remember. That was right off of Zinter's backside last year down in Columbus, and that was the familiarity we were talking about.
Gain of 5, 3rd and 4 for Michigan. JJ in a shotgun, 3 receivers split left, 1 to the right. Now he brings Colston Loveland in motion. JJ has the snap, back to pass. Here comes the rush. JJ bails out of there. Looking downfield. Now he's going to fake a throw and dive for the first down. Did he step out of bounds is the question, and if he did, he'll be short of the line to gain, and I believe that indeed is the case.
Yeah, nice coverage downfield, and honestly, good protection. A nice job by the offensive tackles extending their arms against the 2 edge rushers. Just nothing there. JJ's getting outside, trying to make a play, and I think you can see on that one, as he does get near the sideline, his ability to move, change directions, looks like that leg, that lower leg, ankle if it was, is feeling just fine.
Tommy Dolan standing on his own 15-yard line. Emeka Ibuka deep for Ohio State. And Doman gets off a rocket. Ibuka backing up. It's going to bounce inside the 15 and roll all the way to the end zone. Wow, what a punt there from Tommy Doman. 71 yards, but a net of 51. as the ball be placed on the Ohio State 20-yard line, and that's where the Buckeyes will take over. We're scoreless in Ann Arbor with 7:41 to go, first quarter. You're listening to Michigan football from Learfield.
Another chapter of the greatest rivalry in sports is upon us. Michigan, Ohio State, live from Ann Arbor.
Doug Harsh, John Jansen, Jason Avant down on the field. They just honored the 2003 Big Ten championship team. John Navarre-led group that beat Ohio State, clinched the Big Ten. Back, Chris Perry was a problem back then. And gave Ohio State fits on that day.
Talking about the most hyped individual for a game that I've ever played against any level, Chris Perry. That energy was unmatched. Unmatched in the locker room. He got the coaches and the players hyped.
All right, well, the Wolverines and Ohio State kind of feeling each other out here in the early portion of this game. Just one first down. It belongs to Ohio State. But Travion Henderson, just 8 yards on 4 carries so far. That's something Michigan's defense is hoping to be able to accomplish today. Bottle him up. Marvin Harrison, 1 target, incomplete. First and 10, Ohio State showing 4 wide. They're going to throw it, and it's intercepted. Will Johnson jumps in front of Marvin Harrison to the 15, down to the 12, breaks a tackle, down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. It's Will Johnson with the first big play of the game, and Michigan will take over, first and goal.
I don't know. It almost looked like Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't know the ball was coming to him, and Will Johnson just stepped right in front of him and said, I want that ball. Give it to me. I'm going to take it. And that's the matchup I have been dying to see all season long. A very talented Will Johnson against Marvin Harrison Jr.
Talking about a guy that's ready for the moment. Everybody else is afraid of Marvin Harrison Jr., so he's getting an easy completion, but Will Johnson is not afraid, ready for the big moment.
First and goal, Michigan from the Ohio State 7. Scoreless here in Ann Arbor. Michigan's defense has set up the offense in a great position here. JJ in a shotgun. Blake Corum's in the backfield. 8 on the play clock. JJ claps his hands, and they'll run Corum right. Not much room there as he gets it down maybe to the 6-yard line. Gain of 1.
Very important set of downs here. You don't want to ruin against a team like Ohio State. In a game like this, you've got to find a way to come away with a touchdown. And I like the fact that they're testing the edge a little bit with that run, and more so than they did early on. Before, it's been in between the guards. This one was a little bit more outside the tackle. Got to test them a little bit, stretch them a little bit, loosen things up on the inside.
Wolverines go 3 wide, split all to the left. JJ in a shotgun, takes the snap. Handoff, Corum makes one man miss. Driving to the end zone, Blake Corum gets it down to the 1-yard line. Blake Corum with some good running there. And Ohio State kept him out of the end zone. It'll be 3rd and goal. Josh Proctor on the tackle for Ohio State.
Wow, that was a great cut by Blaker inside the line of scrimmage. A great job by Zach Zinder, pulled from that right guard spot. A knockout block, opening things up. And if Proctor's not there, that one's gone.
3rd and goal from just inside the Ohio State 2. The nose of the football's on the 1. I formation. JJ hands it off to Corum, running left, fights for the end zone. Did he get in? We await the sign. The battle goes on, and they're going to say he is just short.
Ooh, I think they're going to have to take another look at this one, because one official on the far side was running in like he was going to spot it in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm right on it. His back was turned, so they're going to mark him just short of it.
Boy, it was a big collision right at the goal line. And we're looking at a replay here, and it looks awfully close. And I think we're going to get a review.
Yeah, we're going to get a review, and like Jason nailed it. I mean, his back is turned.
On the field, the runner is short of the goal line, plays under further review.
If he did get in, it wasn't by much.
No.
And if he didn't get in, Michigan to be looking at a 4th and goal from inside the 1-yard line. This close shave replay review is brought to you by Barbasol. Feeling great starts with a great shave. And great shaves start with Barbasol shaving cream. For whatever your day brings, choose Barbasol. It's a can of can-do. John, is there a replay here, this one from above? Does it show he's in the end zone?
Well, the problem is going to be, when did the whistle blow? I don't know that you're going to be able to tell when the whistle blew in regards to his forward progress. and where the ball is in regards to the goal line. I don't think there's going to be enough of a view for them to say that he's in. If they had called him in, I think it would be the opposite. I don't think you'd have enough to say that he didn't.
We'll see what Michigan is thinking here if they have 4th and goal from inside the 1.
Well, 4th and goal inside the 1, there's no choice. You have to go for it. You got to put it on this offensive line and say, go get us the first touchdown of this game.
I agree they have to go for it. The question is, what will they do?
Just push.
Could be that.
Yeah, says the guy from Philly.
Yeah.
They're taking their time with this review.
On the review replay, it looks like he got in there, but I'm right on the home sideline. The official nearest
After
me.
review, the ruling on the field stands. 4th down.
All right. So be it.
Take the field with the ball in the left hash, 4th and goal from inside the 1. JJ will take this snap from under center. Bredesen at fullback, I formation with Blake Corum deep. 4th and goal for Michigan. Handoff, Corum dives, end zone, touchdown, Wolverines! And Michigan takes a 6-0 lead in the first quarter.
And where do they go? Right over top of Zach Zinter. Great push up front. You only needed about 4 inches, and they got obviously everything that they needed, and it wasn't even a contested run.
That 1-yard Blake Corum touchdown run brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. JT on for the extra point out of the hold of Tommy Doman. Will Wagner will snap. Snap is good. Hold is good. The kick is up, and that is also good. And Michigan leads 7-0 after the 1-yard Blake Corum touchdown run here in Ann Arbor. While we have this opportunity, let's throw it to the update desk for a check on the scoreboard with Phil Breen. Phil?
Doug, thank you very much. Right now, just one other game on our Big Ten scoreboard, which is brought to you by Absol Pure Water. Indiana has scored first at Purdue. They've reached the end of the first quarter in West Lafayette. Hoosiers up 7-0. A reminder of what's to come later today across the conference. 3 games at 3:30. Northwestern at Illinois. Wisconsin at Minnesota, while Rutgers will entertain Maryland. That was today's Big Ten scoreboard, brought to you by Absol Pure Water, celebrating 35 years as the official bottled water of Michigan athletics. Fellas, real quick, the other 2 ranked teams in action right now. Number 10, Louisville into the first quarter. Cards lead Kentucky 7-0, while number 14, LSU, is at home on the Bayou against Texas A&M. They are tied at 7 with 13 minutes to go until halftime. Doug?
Thank you very much, Phil. Michigan and Ohio State here, 5:36 to go first quarter. Michigan leading the Buckeyes 7-0. As you can see, John, it's going to be tough sledding for the offenses today. Both defenses look very good here in the first almost 10 minutes of this football game, but I got to credit Will Johnson, first big play of the game, and that's the matchup everybody's watching. NFL wideout versus NFL cornerback, and Will Johnson wins round 1.
Yeah, and it comes down to film study. It comes down to anticipating and knowing when you're playing against a player like that, you're going to have to gamble a little bit, and now he's got to be careful. He jumped that route, watch for something, where he's going to try and fake inside, maybe take a shot downfield, but it is the first big play. Will Johnson, let's put one in the win column for him for that matchup, and this game is going to come down to those big plays, those big moments. Michigan gets a turnover, and we talk about it all the time. The turnover battle is so important, and Kyle McCord has bounced the pass. He's thrown an interception. Michigan now moving forward. Here in this first 3 downs, I would not be surprised to see Jesse Minter dial up a couple of blitzes and get after him. Try and put a little bit of a winged helmet right under his chin.
Talk about Will Johnson. That play takes a lot of courage and confidence, right? Just to be in that position, knowing that you have the most dynamic playmaker in the country, and one mistake, it's a touchdown. So for him to be in that position, it lets me know that his mindset believes that I'm just as good, if not better than him. And that's the way you have to approach this game. Big-time players making big-time plays.
Jason, when you watch that play, and I don't know if you saw it live, but did it look like Marvin Harrison Jr. was even making a move on the ball?
Well, it looked like a run-pass option. So it's one of those things as a receiver, you don't know if you're actually getting the ball. So you're kind of slow playing the route. You're not running at full speed. So that's what it was. Will Johnson read it, and he saw Kyle McCord's eyes and made the play.
That touchdown by Blake Corum, his 21st of the season, that sets a new single season record for the school, breaking Hassan Haskins' record of 20 touchdowns in a season. And now he needs 3 to catch the A train, does Blake, on Michigan's career touchdown list. Tommy Doman will kick off. Xavier Johnson deep for Ohio State. Michigan leading at 7-0, and Doman's kick sails deep into the end zone, and Ohio State once again will take over at their 25. Some extracurriculars.
That's all right.
Special teams guys.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen on special teams. You're supposed to go down there, have some fun, wreak some havoc. I mean, that's a play where you crave contact, you seek it out, and quite honestly, Michigan and Ohio State right now, they've fulfilled that expectation. That's been a lot of fun to watch both of those kickoffs for Michigan.
We got the rally group in there up front at the edge positions. Derek Moore, Josiah Stewart in there. 3 receivers from McCord, who's in a shotgun. Henderson off his right hip. 1st and 10, Ohio State. They go sweep to Henderson, running right. 25 out to the 28-yard line, where a pair of Wolverines brought him down. Ernest Hausman being one of them. Josh Wallace the other. A gain of 4 yards on 1st down for Travion Henderson.
We've seen that all season long. Ernest Hausman, he actually is opposite linebacker on that play. Runs from over the left guard, makes that play outside the numbers on Travion Henderson. That's what he's brought to this defense, is speed, more speed at that linebacker position.
2nd down and 6 for the Buckeyes. 3 receivers split wide left. Now they move Marvin Harrison Jr. all the way over to the right. He's matched up on Josh Wallace this time. Shotgun for McCord. Takes the snap. Handoff. Henderson running left. Tries to bounce it outside. Puts his head down. Gets what he can, which is about a yard, maybe 2. Ernest Hausman again. It'll be 3rd down for Ohio State.
Great job by Mikey Sanders-Still. He's lined up over top of Emeka Egbuka. Does a great job of putting him right in Travion Henderson's lap. That is picture-perfect execution, and that's how that run was stopped.
Wolverines on top, 7-0 here in Ann Arbor. 4:20 to go. First quarter, Ohio State looking at a 3rd and 4. They go 4 wide. Henderson in the backfield. Michigan crowding the line of scrimmage on this 3rd down play. McCord in a shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass, looking. Going to go deep down the near sideline, and he's got his man in Michigan territory. It's that guy, Marvin Harrison Jr., and he's marked down at the Michigan 45-yard line. Move the chains for Ohio State, a 24-yard pickup.
Well thrown ball. There's not much you can do about that. Will Johnson was in good position, but when you got a player like Marvin Harrison Jr. that has body control like that, you can put the ball on that outside shoulder. He's going to make a catch.
Ohio State going quickly. Michigan blitzing. McCord back to pass. He's going to go deep again, looking for Marvin Harrison, and this one overthrown. Will Johnson in phase downfield with Marvin Harrison Jr. incomplete.
Hey, Jason, when you watch a play like that, a lot of people will say, well, hey, Will Johnson, that's pass interference. Why is that not interfering with the receiver?
Because he's on top, and he can cut the speed of the receiver as long as he's on top. That's not pass interference at all. It's all about your positioning as a DB, and whenever you're on top, they're not going to call pass interference.
Great position by Will Johnson there.
Ohio State at the Michigan 45-yard line. Buckeyes trail at 7-0. 2nd and 10. 2 receivers split to the right, 1 to the left. Henderson in the backfield. Now Fleming in motion. Back to pass. McCord looking. Nobody open. Bounces out there to the right. Doesn't have much. Throws, and we have a catch, I believe, at the 42-yard line. But there's a flag down. It was Stover, the tight end. The flag in the backfield.
Ohio State's pointing at Michigan like it might be illegal hands to the face.
The gain was about 3 yards.
Personal foul, illegal helmet contact, hands to the face, defense, number 8, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic 1st down.
Well, that is not good.
No, that's one of those aggressive plays where you want to be disciplined and you want to find a way, and his hands get caught up on the helmet. It's kind of a cheap call, actually, but his hand was on his helmet.
Ohio State's got it 1st and 10. The ball all the way down at the Michigan 27-yard line now. 2 receivers split to the left. It's Egbuka and Harrison Jr. 2 tight ends, Scott and Stover, on the end of the line to the right. Henderson in the backfield. Shotgun, 1st and 10. They go handoff, running right. Henderson puts his head down, back to the line of scrimmage, and a little bit more down to the 25-yard line. Give him 2 yards. Host of Wolverine tacklers there, clogging up the rushing lane.
Pulled their left guard, left tackle. And here's the thing about this Ohio State line. They're big, but they're not real fast. It takes a lot of patience by Travion Henderson to let those guys get all the way across the formation. I wouldn't be surprised that they go away from that just because it is taking them so long to get there to make a block.
2:36 to go, first quarter. Michigan on top, 7-0. 2nd down and 8 for the Buckeyes. Ball on the right hash with 3 receivers split wide left. McCord in a shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass. Looking, he's going to fire it over the middle, and it is almost intercepted. Mikey Barrett was there in coverage with Stover, the tight end, and Barrett almost brought that one down. It was in his hand. Stover had to play a little defensive back. That was inside the 5-yard line. Ohio State dodges a bullet there.
Kate Stover's got to be so frustrated. 4th down last year. Jalen Harrell makes a great play in the end zone. Mikey Sandrostel makes a great play. He's got a chance to make a play inside the 5, and there's Mike Barrett. I mean, pick your poison.
3rd and 8 for the Buckeyes. The fans getting into it here in Ann Arbor. McCord looks to the sideline. They got 4 wide. Play clock running down. It's at 5 seconds. Now they've got to play. They're trying to change the play. Play clock's at 2, and Ohio State's going to have to use a timeout. And they will. And the fans love it here in Ann Arbor.
Ohio State, they're first to the half.
Getting involved. Fans trying to disrupt this Ohio State offense. And they got a lot of pent-up energy because it really hasn't been a big game here all year. I mean, Purdue?
Okay. Good sell. And Ohio State wants to make sure that they've got the right personnel, the right matchups here. They've got to try and find a way to respond for Michigan's touchdown. Right now, they're inside. I mean, they're in field goal range. They would like to at least get to the 20 to make it a little bit easier field goal to put some points on the board. Obviously, they'd prefer to pick up this first. It's a big 3rd down for Michigan. And watch on the edges a quick pass, maybe a wide receiver screen with some blockers out front trying to get Cal McCord, other than that one pass to Marvin Harrison Jr., has been off the mark down the field.
Big 3rd down here. The kicker, Jaden Fielding's very good. That's well within his range. From the Michigan 25-yard line, it's 3rd and 8. McCord in a shotgun. Takes the snap. Back to pass. Looking left. Fires incomplete. Looking for a book on an out cut, and he bounced it to him. And the Michigan defense stiffens and will force a field goal attempt.
Nice job. Bad pass. I mean, even if there was good defense, it really didn't matter. But you had Julian Fleming on the outside, Emeka Egbuka on the inside. They ran a little crossing route, and that ball had absolutely no hope of being completed.
McCord now 4 of 10. Jaden Fielding on for the field goal. This will be a 43-yard attempt from the right hash. Out of the hold of Mirko. Snap is good. The ball is placed down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And Ohio State is on the board here with 2:13 to go here in quarter number 1, following the 43-yard field goal from Jaden Fielding. Michigan leading it 7-3.
The defense doing a nice job of stepping up when they had to the most. You don't want to give up 3, but that's a nice response after a big play by Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, what a great throw by Kyle McCord to Marvin Harrison. Will Johnson was in great position on that play. And I'll talk to you guys. This is the loudest I've ever heard this stadium. I don't know if you can feel it upstairs, but this is a really loud stadium at the moment. And I'm pretty sure it's affecting Ohio State's offense.
Well, that's the entire goal. They've picked up right where they left off back in 2021. That was as loud as I'd ever heard the Big House. That was back when Doug and I were down on the field. And now here in the booth, there's no loss of energy up here. You could feel every play, every moment, every impact down there. The crowd is relaying that excitement up here.
Yeah, keep a minute.
Samaj Morgan is deep here to field the kickoff from Fielding. Might get an opportunity to return this one. Fielding, of his 70 kickoffs, 40. Only 40 have gone for touchbacks, and Samaj will field this one and signal for a fair catch. And actually, Joe Taylor will make it inside the 5, and Michigan will take over at the 25-yard line. Michigan leads at 7-3 here, looking to get something going offensively.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I was a little surprised they didn't put a rush on that PAT field goal. I've got to imagine that there's something that Michigan saw that said, hey, you mentioned it, the fake punt that they've done a couple of times this year, looking for a fake field goal. They don't want to expose themselves after a nice stop. But, yeah, offensively here, I'd really like to see J.J. settle down, make a couple of completions here early in this drive.
Ball's on the left hash, Michigan 1st and 10. Donovan Edwards in the backfield. J.J. takes the snap, back to pass, fires far side. He's got Roman Wilson, the 25 across the 30, and steps out of bounds close to the first down. They're going to mark him just short at the 34-yard line. Gain of 9 on first down.
I love it. Ball in and out of J.J.'s hands. Settled down. Nice, accurate pass on the edge to Roman Wilson, a guy that he's got a lot of confidence in, and it didn't have to lead him. It just put the ball right on that one.
2nd and 1. Maybe they take a shot here. 2 receivers split to the left. It's Loveland and Wilson. 1 to the right's Cornelius Johnson. J.J. handoff. Donovan Edwards puts his head down, drives for the first down across the 35 out to the 36-yard line. And that is Michigan's first down of the game.
Yeah, it's nice to get that confidence in your back pocket that you can pick up a first down, that you can complete some passes. And that was just Trevor Keegan pulling around. They're trying to flush everything outside to either Jack Sawyer or JT.
Michigan leading at 7-3, a minute 12 to go, first quarter. JJ in a shotgun, takes the snap, back to pass, looking over the middle. He's got his man Loveland, 45, across the 50. He's undercut as he spins into Ohio State territory down at the 48-yard line. Josh Proctor, the man in coverage there. And J.J. finds the big tight end out of Gooding, Idaho for 16 yards.
Well, here's the thing that you love about it. Same exact play action that they just ran on that first down. They pulled Trevor Keegan, and then instead of handing the ball off, they look for Colston Loveland right across the middle and another easy first down.
Michigan goes 6 offensive linemen here as Trente Jones is checked in for the first time. Donovan Edwards in the backfield. Michigan at the Ohio State 48-yard line, and we get a whistle, and it looks like Ohio State is going to use another timeout.
Charge timeout, Ohio State, their second. This is a 30-second timeout.
Ryan Day saw something he didn't like.
Yeah, it's not like it's a secret that Michigan uses that extra lineman. I mean, we've seen them use 7 offensive linemen. We saw that exclusively at the Penn State game. But, yeah, I think there was a matchup that they didn't like. Called that timeout because Michigan is in that position right now. You mentioned that 2nd and 1 to take a shot. That's a great time to do it. But you also can hear you're on your own side of the 50, or you're on the Ohio State side of the 50-yard line right now. And it feels like J.J. has a little bit more confidence, is seeing the defense a little better, and might take a shot here as well.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Michigan football from Learfield. Offense back on the field from the Ohio State 48-yard line. J.J. back to pass once again, looking downfield. Got to let one go deep. Roman Wilson is out there, and he overthrows him down the far sideline. And incomplete on first down.
Yeah, on the double move, it looked like Roman Wilson might have slipped just a little bit. Came out of his break slow, and that ball was overthrown. Good coverage, good protection. That's what I think a lot of people right now are going to be keeping an eye on with J.J. in the pocket there. Some protection breakdowns over the last couple of weeks. So far today, it's been good.
Now they go double barrel again with Kalel Mullings and Donovan Edwards. Handoff to Edwards up the middle, and he backs his way across the 46. And he's dropped right there for a short gain on 2nd and 10. Jack Sawyer, the man that brought him down, give him 2 yards, maybe 2.5, and that will likely be the final play of the first quarter. Michigan will be looking at a 3rd and 8 when we continue. The Wolverines lead at 7-3 here in Ann Arbor in the game. You're listening to Michigan football from Learfield.